Pierre-Auguste Renoir, one of the most celebrated painters of the Impressionist movement, left an indelible mark on the world of art with his vibrant, light-filled canvases and intimate portrayals of everyday life. Born on February 25, 1841, in Limoges, France, Renoir's journey from a humble beginning to becoming a master of his craft is a testament to his extraordinary talent, perseverance, and passion for art. Renoir was born into a working-class family, the sixth of 7 children. His father, Léonard Renoir, was a tailor, and his mother, Marguerite Merlet, was a seamstress. In 1844, when Renoir was just 3 years old, his family moved to Paris in search of better economic opportunities. This relocation would prove pivotal in shaping young Renoir's future as an artist. Growing up in the vibrant city of Paris, Renoir displayed an early aptitude for drawing. His talent did not go unnoticed, and at the age of 13, he was apprenticed to work in a porcelain factory. Here, he painted designs on fine china, honing his skills and developing a keen eye for detail and color. This early experience would later influence his unique approach to painting, particularly in his treatment of light and texture. During his time at the porcelain factory, Renoir also attended drawing classes at the École gratuite de dessin, a free school of design. It was here that he first encountered the works of the great masters in the Louvre, sparking a lifelong passion for art history and classical techniques. In 1862, at the age of 21, Renoir took a significant step in his artistic journey by enrolling at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts in Paris. He also began studying under Charles Gleyre, a Swiss artist known for his neoclassical style. It was in Gleyre's studio that Renoir met fellow artists Claude Monet, Alfred Sisley, and Frédéric Bazille. These friendships would prove instrumental in shaping the Impressionist movement and Renoir's own artistic development. During his time at the École des Beaux-Arts, Renoir continued to refine his technique and explore different styles. He was particularly drawn to the works of Eugène Delacroix, whose use of color and dynamic compositions greatly influenced the young artist. Renoir also admired the paintings of Camille Corot and Gustave Courbet, whose commitment to painting from nature resonated with his own artistic sensibilities. In these formative years, Renoir began to develop his distinctive style, characterized by loose brushwork, vibrant colors, and a focus on capturing the fleeting effects of light. He experimented with plein-air painting, working outdoors to capture the changing qualities of natural light and atmosphere. This approach would become a hallmark of the Impressionist movement. The 1860s and early 1870s were a period of great artistic ferment in Paris. Renoir and his circle of friends, including Monet, Sisley, and Bazille, began to challenge the rigid conventions of academic painting. They sought to capture the immediacy of visual perception and the ephemeral qualities of light and color in their work. In 1864, Renoir's painting, La Esmeralda, was accepted for the prestigious Paris Salon, the official art exhibition of the Académie des Beaux-Arts. This early success was followed by several rejections in subsequent years, as Renoir's style became increasingly at odds with the conservative tastes of the Salon jury. Undeterred by these setbacks, Renoir continued to refine his technique and push the boundaries of conventional painting. In 1869, he worked alongside Monet at La Grenouillère, a popular bathing spot on the Seine. The paintings they produced during this period are considered some of the first examples of the Impressionist style, characterized by their loose brushwork, bright colors, and emphasis on the play of light on water. The Franco-Prussian War of 1870-1871 temporarily disrupted Renoir's artistic pursuits. He was drafted into the army, but managed to avoid combat due to illness. After the war, he returned to Paris with renewed energy and determination to pursue his artistic vision. In 1874, Renoir, along with Monet, Sisley, Edgar Degas, and several other artists, organized the first Impressionist exhibition. This groundbreaking show, held independently of the official salon, presented a radical new approach to painting that emphasized the artists' subjective impressions of their subjects, rather than adhering to academic conventions. Renoir contributed 7 paintings to this first exhibition, including La Loge, the theatre box, which showcased his ability to capture the vibrant social life of Paris. While the exhibition was met with mixed reactions from critics and the public, it marked a pivotal moment in the history of modern art. Over the next few years, Renoir participated in 3 more Impressionist exhibitions, continuing to refine his style and push the boundaries of his art. During this period, he produced some of his most iconic works, including Dance at the Moulin de la Galette, 1876, and Luncheon of the Boating Party, 1880 to 1881. These paintings exemplify Renoir's ability to capture the joie de vivre of Parisian life, with their depictions of lively social gatherings bathed in dappled sunlight. As Renoir's reputation grew, so did his financial success. By the late 1870s and early 1880s, he was receiving numerous commissions for portraits from wealthy patrons. These commissions allowed him to travel extensively, visiting Italy, Algeria, and the south of France. These journeys exposed him to new landscapes, light conditions, and artistic traditions, further enriching his palette and subject matter. Renoir's trip to Italy in 1881 to 1882 was particularly significant. Studying the works of Renaissance masters like Raphael and Titian, he began to question some of the tenets of Impressionism. This period of reflection led to what is known as his ingress period, or dry period, during which he focused on more precise drawing and smoother application of paint. Despite this brief departure from his earlier style, Renoir soon returned to a more fluid, sensuous approach to painting. His later works are characterized by an increasing focus on the female nude, rendered in warm, glowing colors that seem to radiate light from within. In 1890, at the age of 49, Renoir married Aline Charigot, a young seamstress who had been his model for several years. The couple had 3 sons, Pierre, Jean, and Claude. Family life became an important theme in Renoir's work, with numerous paintings depicting Aline and their children in intimate, domestic settings. Renoir's family provided him with both emotional support and artistic inspiration. His eldest son, Pierre, became a stage and film actor, while Jean became a renowned filmmaker. Claude, the youngest, often served as a model for his father's paintings. In the later years of his life, Renoir faced significant health challenges. He suffered from rheumatoid arthritis, which severely affected his mobility. Despite this debilitating condition, Renoir's passion for painting never wavered. He adapted his technique, sometimes having brushes strapped to his hands to continue working. In 1907, Renoir purchased a property in Cagnes-sur-Mer in the south of France. This estate, known as Les Collettes, became his primary residence and studio for the remainder of his life. The warm climate and beautiful landscape of the French Riviera provided inspiration for many of his late works. During this period, Renoir's style underwent another evolution. His paintings became more monumental in scale, with figures taking on a sculptural quality. The colors in his palette grew increasingly vivid, with reds, oranges, and pinks dominating his canvases. These late works, while different from his earlier Impressionist paintings, maintained Renoir's lifelong commitment to capturing the beauty and sensuality of the world around him. Renoir continued to paint until the very end of his life, even when his arthritis forced him to work from a wheelchair. He died on December 3, 1919, at the age of 78, in Cagnes-sur-Mer. His last major work, The Bathers, was completed in 1918 and stands as a testament to his enduring creativity and passion for his art. Renoir's artistic style is characterized by several key elements that evolved throughout his career. Color. Renoir was a master colorist, known for his vibrant, luminous palette. He often used warm, glowing colors to create a sense of light and atmosphere in his paintings. His later works, in particular, are notable for their intense, almost fauvist use of color. Brushwork. In his Impressionist period, Renoir employed loose, visible brushstrokes that helped to capture the fleeting effects of light and movement. As his style evolved, his brushwork became more fluid and sensuous, particularly in his depictions of the human figure. Light. The representation of light was central to Renoir's work throughout his career. He was particularly adept at capturing the effects of dappled sunlight filtering through leaves or the warm glow of indoor light on skin. Subject matter. While Renoir painted a wide range of subjects, including landscapes and still lifes, he is perhaps best known for his depictions of people. His paintings often feature scenes of everyday life, from bustling Parisian cafes to intimate family gatherings. The female figure. Renoir had a particular affinity for painting women and the female nude. His representations of the female form are characterized by their sensuality and celebration of feminine beauty. And texture. Renoir was skilled at rendering different textures in paint, from the softness of skin to the sheen of fabric. This ability contributed to the tactile quality of his paintings. Throughout his career, Renoir produced numerous masterpieces that have become iconic representations of Impressionism and late 19th century French painting. Some of his most significant works include La Loge, the Theatre Box, 1874. This painting, exhibited at the first Impressionist exhibition, showcases Renoir's ability to capture the glamour and social dynamics of Parisian life. The contrast between the woman's direct gaze and her companion's use of opera glasses creates a sense of intrigue and complexity. Dance at the Moulin de la Galette, 1876. One of Renoir's most famous works, this large-scale painting depicts a lively outdoor dance gathering in Montmartre. It exemplifies Renoir's skill in capturing the effects of dappled sunlight and the vibrant atmosphere of Parisian social life. Luncheon of the Boating Party, 1880-1881. This monumental work combines elements of genre painting, still life, and portraiture. It showcases Renoir's ability to harmoniously compose a complex scene with multiple figures, while maintaining a sense of spontaneity and joie de vivre. The Large Bathers, 1884-1887. This painting marks a turning point in Renoir's career, reflecting his renewed interest in classical form and composition following his trip to Italy. The monumental female nudes are rendered with a new emphasis on line and sculptural form. Girls at the Piano, 1892. This intimate scene of two young girls at a piano demonstrates Renoir's skill in capturing domestic life and his ongoing interest in the effects of light on skin and fabric. The Umbrellas, circa 1881 to 1886. This work is notable for its complex composition and the way it bridges Renoir's Impressionist style with his later, more linear approach. The painting was worked on in two phases, several years apart, allowing us to see the evolution of Renoir's technique within a single canvas. Pierre-Auguste Renoir's influence on the world of art cannot be overstated. As one of the leading figures of Impressionism, he played a crucial role in revolutionizing painting in the late 19th century. His approach to color, light, and form opened new possibilities for future generations of artists. Renoir's impact can be seen in the work of numerous painters who followed him, from post-impressionists like Pierre Bonnard to modern masters like Henri Matisse. His celebration of sensuality and joie de vivre continues to resonate with viewers today, making his paintings among the most beloved in the world. Beyond his direct influence on painting, Renoir's life and work have become an integral part of our understanding of French culture and the artistic milieu of late 19th century Paris. His depictions of Parisian life, from café scenes to intimate portraits, provide a vivid window into a transformative period in European history and culture. Renoir's legacy extends beyond the canvas as well. His son, Jean Renoir, became one of the most important filmmakers of the 20th century and credited his father's artistic vision as a significant influence on his cinematic style. This connection between Impressionist painting and early cinema represents an intriguing link between two revolutionary art forms. To fully appreciate Renoir's significance, it's important to consider his work within the broader context of art history. Renoir and his fellow Impressionists emerged at a time when academic painting, with its emphasis on historical and mythological subjects, still dominated the French art world. The Impressionists' focus on contemporary life and their innovative techniques represented a radical break from these established norms. Renoir's work, in particular, bridged several artistic traditions. While embracing the Impressionist interest in modern life and the effects of light, he maintained a deep respect for the classical tradition, especially in his treatment of the human figure. This synthesis of old and new, combined with his unique sensibility, allowed Renoir to create a body of work that was both of its time and timeless. As art moved towards greater abstraction in the early 20th century, Renoir's later works, with their emphasis on monumental form and intense color, can be seen as precursors to movements like Fauvism. At the same time, his unwavering commitment to beauty and pleasure in art stood in contrast to some of the more challenging and confrontational aspects of modernism. Renoir's approach to painting was characterized by both spontaneity and careful preparation. In his Impressionist period, he often worked en plein air, painting outdoors to capture the immediate effects of light and atmosphere. However, for larger, more complex compositions, he would typically begin with preparatory sketches and studies. Renoir was known for his ability to work quickly, often completing a portrait in a single sitting. This rapid execution contributed to the sense of freshness and immediacy in his paintings. At the same time, he was not afraid to rework his canvases, sometimes returning to a painting months or even years later to make adjustments. In terms of materials, Renoir preferred to work with oil paints on canvas. He typically used a light ground, which allowed the luminosity of his colors to shine through. As his arthritis progressed in later years, he adapted his technique, sometimes using longer brushes or having assistants prepare his palette. One of the distinctive aspects of Renoir's work is his relationship with his models. Unlike some of his contemporaries, who maintained a more detached approach, Renoir developed close relationships with many of the people he painted. This intimacy is evident in the warmth and affection that radiates from his portraits and figure paintings. Renoir's wife, Aline, and their children were frequent subjects of his paintings, appearing in numerous domestic scenes and portraits. Other models, such as the actress Jeanne Samari and the painter Suzanne Valadon, appeared in multiple works over the years, allowing us to see how Renoir's style and his perception of his subjects evolved over time. Renoir's depiction of his models, particularly women, has been both celebrated and criticized. While some praise the sensuality and joy in his representations of the female form, others have questioned the objectifying nature of his gaze. This tension reflects broader debates about representation and gender in art that continue to this day. While Renoir is perhaps best known for his figurative work, his landscapes are an important and often overlooked aspect of his oeuvre. From the sun-dappled scenes of the Seine, painted alongside Monet, to the lush, colourful vistas of the south of France in his later years, Renoir's landscapes showcase his mastery of light and colour. Renoir's approach to landscape painting evolved over the course of his career. In his early Impressionist period, he focused on capturing the fleeting effects of light and atmosphere, often working quickly to seize a particular moment. Later, his landscapes became more structured, with a greater emphasis on the underlying forms of nature. Some of Renoir's most notable landscapes include the Skiff, 1875, which exemplifies his early Impressionist style, and the Farm at L'Écolette, Caen, 1908 to 1914, which showcases his later, more expansive approach to depicting nature. While less numerous than his figurative works and landscapes, Renoir's still lifes are an important part of his oeuvre. These paintings, often featuring flowers, fruit, or everyday objects, allowed Renoir to explore colour relationships and textures in a more controlled setting. Renoir's still lifes are characterized by their vibrant colours and loose, expressive brushwork. Unlike the more formal still life traditions of the past, Renoir's compositions often have a casual, spontaneous quality, as if the objects had been casually arranged on a table. Some notable examples of Renoir's still lifes include Strawberries, 1905, and Flowers in a Vase, 1866. These works demonstrate Renoir's ability to infuse even inanimate objects with a sense of life and energy. In the later years of his life, as his arthritis made painting increasingly difficult, Renoir turned to sculpture as a new form of artistic expression. Working with young sculptor Richard Guino, Renoir created a series of sculptures that translated his painterly style into 3 dimensions. These sculptures, which include figures and reliefs, maintain the sensuality and flowing lines characteristic of Renoir's paintings. Works like Venus Victorious, 1914, and The Judgment of Paris, 1913 to 1914, showcase Renoir's enduring interest in classical themes and the female form. While Renoir's sculptures are less well known than his paintings, they represent an important aspect of his late career and demonstrate his continued creativity in the face of physical challenges. Throughout his career, Renoir maintained close relationships with many of the leading artists of his day. His friendships with fellow Impressionists like Claude Monet, Alfred Sisley, and Camille Pissarro were particularly important, providing mutual support and inspiration during the challenging early years of the movement. Renoir also had significant relationships with artists of other styles and generations. He was close friends with Paul Cézanne, despite their differing artistic approaches. Later in life, he became a mentor to younger artists like Pierre Bonnard and Édouard Vuillard, who were influenced by his use of colour and domestic subject matter. These relationships placed Renoir at the centre of the Parisian art world for much of his career, allowing him to both influence and be influenced by the rapidly changing artistic landscape of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. While Renoir was primarily a visual artist, he also left behind a number of writings that provide insight into his artistic philosophy and working methods. These include letters to friends and fellow artists, as well as conversations recorded by his son Jean and others. In these writings, Renoir emphasizes the importance of joy and beauty in art, as well as the need for direct observation of nature. He was critical of overly intellectual approaches to painting, preferring to emphasize the sensual and emotional aspects of art making. Renoir also shared his knowledge and techniques with younger artists, both informally and through more structured teaching. In the later years of his life, many aspiring painters sought him out for advice and guidance, contributing to his influence on subsequent generations of artists. During his lifetime, Renoir experienced both financial struggle and considerable success. In his early career, like many of the Impressionists, he faced rejection from the official salon and struggled to sell his work. However, as the Impressionist style gained acceptance, Renoir's paintings began to find favour with collectors and dealers. By the 1880s, Renoir was receiving significant prices for his work, particularly his portraits of fashionable Parisians. The art dealer Paul Durand-Ruel played a crucial role in promoting Renoir's work, both in France and internationally. Today, Renoir's paintings are among the most valuable in the world. Major works like Bal du Moulin de la Galette have sold for tens of millions of dollars at auction. This financial success has contributed to Renoir's enduring popularity and ensured that his works are prominently displayed in major museums around the world. Renoir's life and work have captured the public imagination well beyond the confines of the art world. His paintings, with their joyful depictions of modern life and luminous colour, have become emblematic of a certain vision of late 19th century France. Renoir has been the subject of numerous biographies, films, and documentaries. His son Jean's memoir, Renoir, My Father, provides an intimate portrait of the artist's life and working methods. The 2012 film Renoir, directed by Gilles Bourdeau, dramatizes the artist's later years, focusing on his relationship with his last model, André Heuchling. Renoir's paintings have also been widely reproduced, appearing on everything from postcards and posters to clothing and home decor. This ubiquity has made works like Luncheon of the Boating Party and Dance at the Moulin de la Galette instantly recognizable, even to those with little knowledge of art history. Throughout his career, and in the years since his death, Renoir's work has been the subject of both high praise and sharp criticism. During the early years of Impressionism, conservative critics often derided Renoir's loose brushwork and unconventional subject matter. However, as the movement gained acceptance, Renoir's paintings came to be celebrated for their joyful depiction of modern life and masterful use of colour. In recent years, some aspects of Renoir's work have come under renewed scrutiny. His depictions of women, in particular, have been criticised by some as objectifying and reflective of outdated gender norms. The sensuality that many viewers find appealing in Renoir's nudes has been seen by others as problematic in light of contemporary discussions about representation and the male gaze in art. Despite these controversies, Renoir's technical mastery and his important role in the development of modern art continue to be widely recognized. His ability to capture the play of light on surfaces, his innovative use of color, and his celebration of the joy and beauty of everyday life ensure his place as one of the most significant painters of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The impact of Renoir's work on subsequent generations of artists has been profound and far-reaching. His approach to colour and light, his celebration of sensuality and joie de vivre, and his ability to capture fleeting moments of everyday life have inspired countless painters in the decades since his death. In the immediate aftermath of Impressionism, artists like Pierre Bonnard and Édouard Vuillard, known as the Nabis, drew inspiration from Renoir's intimate domestic scenes and his use of vibrant colour. The lush, sensual quality of Renoir's late nudes can be seen as a precursor to the work of artists like Henri Matisse. Even as art moved towards greater abstraction in the 20th century, echoes of Renoir's approach to colour and form can be discerned in the work of painters as diverse as Milton Avery and Willem de Kooning. In more recent years, contemporary artists have engaged with Renoir's legacy in various ways, from direct homages to critical reinterpretations of his most famous works. Beyond painting, Renoir's influence can be seen in other visual media. His son Jean Renoir, who became one of the most important filmmakers of the 20th century, often spoke of the impact his father's artistic vision had on his approach to cinema. The lush, sensual quality of Jean Renoir's films, with their emphasis on the pleasures of everyday life, can be seen as a cinematic translation of his father's painterly aesthetic. As we consider Renoir's place in art history, it's clear that he occupies a unique and significant position. As one of the key figures of Impressionism, he played a crucial role in one of the most important artistic revolutions of the modern era. The Impressionists' emphasis on capturing the fleeting effects of light and their focus on scenes of contemporary life represented a radical break from the academic traditions that had dominated Western art for centuries. At the same time, Renoir's work maintains connections to earlier artistic traditions. His lifelong admiration for the old masters, particularly Rubens and Titian, is evident in the sensuality and warmth of his paintings. This synthesis of revolutionary technique with a deep respect for tradition gives Renoir's work a timeless quality that continues to resonate with viewers today. Renoir's career, spanning more than 6 decades, also provides a unique window into the evolution of modern art. From his early Impressionist works to his later, more classically inspired paintings, Renoir's oeuvre reflects the rapid changes taking place in the art world at the turn of the 20th century. Throughout his life, Renoir maintained a consistent artistic philosophy centered on the celebration of beauty and pleasure. He famously declared, "To my mind, a picture should be something pleasant, cheerful, and pretty. Yes, pretty. There are too many unpleasant things in life as it is, without creating still more of them." This commitment to beauty and joy set Renoir apart from many of his contemporaries, who were moving towards more challenging and confrontational forms of artistic expression. While artists like Édouard Monet were using their work to comment on social issues or challenge artistic conventions, Renoir remained focused on capturing the simple pleasures of life. However, it would be a mistake to dismiss Renoir's work as mere escapism. His paintings, with their emphasis on the sensual enjoyment of the world, can be seen as a form of resistance against the increasing industrialization and mechanization of modern life. By focusing on moments of human connection and the beauty of the natural world, Renoir was asserting the continued importance of these experiences in a rapidly changing world. Renoir's technique evolved significantly over the course of his career, reflecting both his changing artistic interests and the physical challenges he faced in later life. In his early Impressionist period, he often worked à la prima, applying wet paint directly to the canvas without waiting for previous layers to dry. This technique allowed him to capture the fleeting effects of light and atmosphere that were central to the Impressionist aesthetic. As his style evolved, Renoir began to place greater emphasis on drawing and form. During his Ingress period in the mid-1880s, he experimented with a more linear style, using smoother brushwork and more clearly defined forms. Later, he developed a technique he called de la pâte sur la pâte, paste on paste, building up layers of paint to create a rich, luminous surface. Renoir was known for his use of vibrant, luminous color. He often used a limited palette, preferring to create variety through subtle mixtures rather than using a wide range of pigments. His mastery of colour is particularly evident in his depictions of skin tones, which seem to glow with an inner light. In terms of subject matter, Renoir was drawn to scenes of everyday life and leisure. He had a particular affinity for painting people, whether in intimate domestic settings or in the bustling social spaces of modern Paris. His landscapes, while less numerous than his figurative works, showcase his ability to capture the effects of light in nature. More than a century after his death, Renoir's work continues to captivate audiences around the world. His paintings are among the most popular in major museums, attracting millions of visitors each year. The joyful, sensual quality of his work seems to resonate with viewers regardless of their background or knowledge of art history. At the same time, Renoir's legacy is being reassessed in light of contemporary cultural and artistic debates. Questions about his depiction of women, his relationship to colonialism, particularly in his Orientalist works, and the politics of pleasure in art have led to new interpretations and critiques of his work. These ongoing discussions reflect the enduring relevance of Renoir's art. Far from being simply a relic of the past, his paintings continue to provoke thought and emotion, challenging us to consider our own relationship to beauty, pleasure, and representation. As we move further into the 21st century, it seems likely that Renoir's work will continue to be a subject of both admiration and debate. His technical mastery, his celebration of the joys of everyday life, and his important role in the development of modern art ensure that he will remain a significant figure in the canon of Western art. Pierre-Auguste Renoir's life and work span one of the most exciting and transformative periods in the history of Western art. From his humble beginnings as a painter of porcelain to his status as one of the most celebrated artists of his time, Renoir's career reflects the dramatic changes taking place in the art world and in society at large during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Renoir's contributions to the development of Impressionism, his unique synthesis of classical and modern elements, and his unwavering commitment to beauty and pleasure in art have secured his place as one of the most beloved and influential painters of all time. His lush, light-filled canvases continue to captivate viewers, offering a joyful vision of life that resonates across time and culture. As we continue to engage with Renoir's work in the 21st century, we are reminded of the power of art to celebrate the beauty of the world and the richness of human experience. Whether we are drawn to the technical brilliance of his brushwork, the luminous quality of his color, or the intimate humanity of his subjects, Renoir's paintings offer a timeless testament to the enduring appeal of joy, beauty, and sensuality in art.